And we need to eliminate that. And the way that we do that is employing ourselves and employing our brothers and sisters. And so that's our mission, is group economics, uplift ourselves, because I can't empower anyone until I empower myself, and change from just being willing because it's in my heart and my passion to see my people succeed and see us do better, and change the social order, because I know that we are not supposed to be on bottom. I understand who I was. I know I didn't fall out of the sky and land on a plantation. So when you have knowledge.
Fall into this unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new. Take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough. Show enough, she couldn't get the feels off from me. Oh no, she couldn't get the feels off from me. Touching hands till we dance in the dark. Show enough, she couldn't get the feels off from me. We do whatever you like. Get the feels off from me. Oh no, she couldn't get the feels off from me. So let's slide, you and me alone, to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got ballet bringing up the car. You throw me a kiss, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby,
To the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Nate. I am here. I don't know what to say. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about closing out of the show Pearly and moving forward and whatever creative endeavors is coming next for me. We have a young chef coming on, a friend of the station, Miss Alisa Curry. She'll be joining us shortly with her son Kalil. He's a young man who has sparked the interest in the culinary arts. And I love spotlighting people in general, but I love spotlighting young people who have taken their passion and their dreams and desires and actually are applying it. I was a child who just dreamed a lot, and it took me to become an adult, nearly almost 20, to really step out and do the things, because we as children often need people that are not only guiding us through the educational system, but guiding us and pushing us in the things that we want to do. People often stop asking children around the age of 16 and 17 what they want to be, because often people stop asking, because normally by that age people assume you should know what you want to be and what you should start showing it. And often children don't necessarily show the things that they want because they aren't being exposed to it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And this young man is really young, and he's already showing signs of being a really good chef and a business person. And he has a mom that's really pushing and really encouraging and being there for all the things that he needs in terms of resources. So I wanted to do my part in helping and supporting what he has coming up. So I want to first say Doing Pearly has been a really awesome experience. Going into going into Pearly, I only intended to just work with Troy Burton, the director, but I really ended up being in the show because prior to this, I had really lost any desire to want to act because one thing when you see people who are not serious about it or who have a half-ass approach to it, meaning they saw something and I'm gonna do that because it's popular, not because they really studied it or they taking it seriously. And then those people are the people that get promoted. Those are the people that get the ticket sales and so on and so forth. And it's not a jealousy thing for me because I've had great shows. This show was great. We had a sold out audience from start to finish. It was really a great space to really be in terms of just meeting new artists and really developing new relationships and networking. But prior to this, I just was tired of the politics. I was tired of mediocrity winning. I was tired of putting forth and putting myself out there as an actor. You throw yourself out there every single time, especially theater actors. You're just throwing yourself out there, and I wasn't really being. I felt like I wasn't being respected as an artist, and that's a hard pill to swallow when all you've done for like especially the last 20 years has been this, and it's really been something that I have wanted and wanted. And I'm not saying everything has changed because I did this, but it's a work in progress. And I'm having to now, for the last 2 years, I've been more strategic as to the things that I want to do. And now I have an extra weight on my shoulder to be more strategic and more deliberate in the things that I want. And it's not I don't feel like it is necessarily it's not hard to make the decisions. It's just hard to actually apply them and live them out because something's going to come along and it's going to sound too good to be true and it's going to have all the bells and whistles and I'm going to have to say no to it because it really doesn't fit into what my goal is. As artists, I don't care what form of artistry you're in or what level or beginner, middle, end, whatever, you need an artist statement because you need to know why you're doing things. Because when you're going out to audition or apply for things or connecting with people to network with, you have to know why you're there. And if you don't know those whys, then you're wasting your time, you're wasting the people time around you. You will end up complaining, they're going to end up hating you, and it's just going to be ugly. And when you could have just said no up front. Also, if you aren't a person that really wants to do this and it just sounds interesting because everybody else winning at it and it just seemed like a cool thing to do to say I'm an actor, stay out of the way of people who really want to do it. Like because we can often stand in our own way and we can stand in the way of other people's progress by putting ourselves in teams. I saw that more so in a group of children that I've been working with in the last 3 weeks, preparing them for a Black History program that we just did on Friday. And I saw students who really were standing in their own way. So I really saw a lot of myself in
Is
some of
what it
those
is
students, but I
radio show.
saw a lack of concern and just wasting people's time. You know, the arts isn't a place to just chill and, you know, it'll naturally come. No, most people have worked hard, whether they went to school or they trained themselves, they've worked hard for this. And some people can naturally step into an environment and just rock it out. And I've been like that in certain aspects of the arts. And I see how some things are easy to me and some things aren't as easy. And I've had to work a little bit harder. But it really, it takes a level of dedication that we often don't have. And a lot of people are struggling with and making it happen. So I really want to, uh, I want to be in a space where I'm able to enjoy the arts again. And I was introduced and reintroduced to a few people who have shown me. We had some young people in this play that really um, exemplified the energy that I had when I first came into this. We had an assistant stage manager that reminded me of where I was when I first stepped foot in Arena Players some odd years ago to do a play called Colored Museum, and I had to just remind myself of why I was doing this. And money is great, but you know, even the business side of me, I think, kind of came to the forefront in this because I had set up my table, and I've hired friends to work with me, but normally they came with me. But I had to trust people with my passcodes and people, you know, and some of them were people I knew and some of them people I didn't know. And some of them was people that I didn't trust before, but I had to learn how to trust the process and just pray for the best. And it was amazing just to be in that space in both capacities. And shout out to the cast of Pearly, shout out to the director and the techs and the auxiliary directors, the people who really came out. We had some awesome audiences. This last show was phenomenal, and that we met a lot of people who were in the arts and was looking at us for doing certain things. And I felt for the first time ever in my artistry, I had set aside everything else, even, you know, selling my jewelry outside of the show. I set that to the side and trusted that in somebody else's hands, and I was able to just be. And this is, I have to say, one of the top shows. And I could have been at this space a long time ago, but I stood in my own way. I let a lot of people tell me what I was capable of. I believed it. I did not do anything about it. I didn't step out on faith as much or to the extent. I was out on the ledge, but I ain't really, you know, I ain't dangle, I ain't jump. But it was an interesting space to really see people who were novice at this, who were just learning, the baby stepping, still crawling actually in the world of the arts. And that really inspired me to understand my why again. So we're going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned in. If you're watching, please take a moment, share this out. Really, thank you for tuning in. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BigExposedRadio.com.
Listen. All right, say situation. Cause I keep telling y'all, it's different situations in the child support thing. You can't just pinpoint one thing. You can't just say, oh, here did be. That's why you're on child support. Oh, he this. That's why you're on child support. Oh, she this. That's why she on child support. No. Sometimes it could just go off of, oh, I just called him and asked him, can he pay for the pictures? He ain't want to pay for the pictures. I'm taking his ass downtown. Yup.
Well, you got to know. Know who you dating.
Hold up.
You just like
I just called her. I just called her and asked could she just get Junior some shoes. She couldn't even get him no church shoes. I'm taking her ass downtown. Now when you go downtown, you go down there, you get $500. Right. Now you mad because you get $500, and now you really ain't getting no shoes for Junior or Lord CC. Because you're getting $500 now. Right.
Yeah, but you got to remember, if you're a good father or a good mother, and you paying child support, right, you still going to go ahead and do all that. Because
hold up.
It's just what it is.
Hold on. And that's another situation.
Right.
But you know what that creates? Now when we at the party, mommy and daddy ain't even down there speaking to each other. Because daddy done paid for the party, and he done came out of pocket this month with $600.
So what he mad,
but right, that's your child.
He shouldn't be mad.
Listen. He shouldn't be mad, but he also has another child with his wife.
That's on him.
Okay,
go ahead.
He got another child with his wife.
Okay.
Right. And you're taking away from him.
And they taking away
and you're taking away from
Well, he should have kept it in his pants.
Exactly.
Should have kept it in his pants. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. Stop complaining.
You on some whole, he on some whole other shit over here.
Listen to this flashback of Skyline Radio Show.
So where we at? Where we talk about the effects and what's going on in these schools.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand. Just real briefly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what people say bullying is or is not. So bullying comes in many forms. It's a teasing, it's the cyberbullying, it's the texting, it's the phone calls, it's the posting of pictures and people's personal information to pretty much cause them harm, to have them feel insecure. It's the sex assaults that people actually put out there. There are physical assaults, and there are mental assaults and emotional assaults. And what I like to remind individuals that any aggressive behavior towards anyone that is unwanted and unwarranted, and an individual asks you to stop. Let's stop there. Stop.
And they should be respecting that.
Respecting that and respecting yourself, because when you're able to respect another person, you're able to respect yourself. Right. And the way that you're able to show that respect is that you know that you have a gift and you know you're uniquely made and that you matter, and then you also acknowledge that the next person beside you matters as well.
Right.
You know? And we lose that sometimes. Bullying is a behavior that underestimates the lives and legacy of you. I'm sure when they was bullying me, and I'm sure when they was bullying you, they didn't understand who you're going to become later on. I didn't know.
Right, because I'm popping. I can't pop. All right, let me tell you, all those people who felt like they wanted to say whatever to me, look at me now. It's like, no, y'all don't understand, but I've been through some things, okay?
And you know what? No. I applaud you and I salute you, because a lot of times we do not take the time to say, I'm okay, and I'm okay with me, and there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm amazing, and I'm blessed, and I'm strong, and I matter.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Skyline Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
period.
Real.
You're right.
That's the real deal.
It's period.
Right.
And all that old money shouldn't go toward this, money should go to, if the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week, you don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once a month maybe, or once every 3 months.
Right.
You cannot dictate where that money goes, especially if the child ain't calling you about nothing. Now, if the child calling you every week, then you can question about where the child support is going. But if every time you pick up the child, they look nice, they ain't complaining about nothing, why are you worrying about where the money go at?
It is what it is. Radio show.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco, strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
Nigga, chose by another nigga, bitch. Damn, this chopper got 50 round clip. So this Molly and the syrup got me geeking, shorty. Ain't know I popped them Xannies, had them sleeping on me. Love in a hood full of hate. Pray to God that he open up them gates. Rest in peace to Freddie Gray and Lord Scooter. Putting on for our city, watch his door.
Next stop, Texaco, strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
Shiny things, I can't allow this blasphemy. would you treat yourself like that? We done come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. Full of the things that we've overcome. Full of unspoken battles we've won. You're so much better.
Like keys, only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around.
Cosmetic programming?
No.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Nate. We have two new guests in the building, an old face.
Yes.
She's normally in the background.
Yes.
But we got on camera today. Miss Alisa.
Hey.
She's here with her son,
Hi.
Mr. Kalil. I'm sorry, Chef
Kalil.
Kalil. And I've been seeing his progress, and she's been posting a lot about him becoming. I remember when you first said he was starting to wanting to cook.
Yes.
And I remember that was my first, when I was young, that's what I wanted to be, cook. But I was eating it too much. I didn't really like cooking and cleaning up. But you're actually going a step beyond, and I love promoting young people. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Kalil.
I'm Kalil. I'm 12 years old, and I go to Martin Luther King Elementary Middle School.
Okay. How long you been cooking?
I've been cooking for
Since you were 5.
Okay.
If you can't add the years up.
Mixing that microwave up. Okay, I got you. So what made you want to start cooking?
because one day it was at my old school, and this boy he bullied me, and so I went to my grandmother. I told her that I wanted to cook, and so she taught me how to make yeast rolls. Then we started from there. Then we went up.
So you got the biscuit recipe, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, all this started from being bullied about his waist size. Kalil has always been thick. So, you know, kids can be cruel. So it started from him being bullied in school.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, they make fun
Give
of you.
something
Don't give them something to talk about. Cook for them.
Cook for them. What's your favorite thing to cook so far?
Steak.
Steak. Okay. All right, them pockets gonna be.
Yes.
Gotta make that money, sir.
Yeah.
Steak is expensive.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do with it? Do you want your own brick and mortar, your own restaurant, or
I
catering?
want my own restaurant.
Cool. What would your specialty be?
My specialty would be, yes, a steak that's gonna have my it's gonna have like my secret sauce on the top of the steak.
Okay.
Yes, it's gonna be. I would stop surprises on it.
He's more of a seafood steak guy.
So mom gotta work a couple extra hours.
Yeah, because
get those
when
supplies.
a lot of times when Kalil gives these events, we don't charge. But his menu is like 5-star menu. So it's like, I'm like, look, y'all got to tip him because like yesterday the menu was like seafood, egg omelet, he has crab dip, you know, like that's just for breakfast, you know. But then his event that he had.
Why wasn't I invited?
You was. You didn't make it.
Next time, I'll be there.
Yeah, but he had like, top of the line of everything for his breakfast. But then we had a lunch one, a brunch one. We had filet mignon steak. He had stuffed chicken. He had asparagus. No, I'm talking about the one we had when the teacher came, Miss Brunson came.
Oh, so we had
salmon balls, crab cakes.
Okay.
I mean, and mind you, this stuff is free. Because he wants to expose his stuff to everybody, so it's free. So the only thing that he asks is the people just to tip him. Okay. You know, just give him a tip. But you're going to get a top-of-the-line meal.
So in terms of creating this as a business, and I'm going to speak to your mom for a second, how are you preparing him to be financially responsible?
So when Kalil does his
Because we
event,
can't live off mom
yeah.
forever.
So when Kalil does his event, when he makes a certain amount of money, like yesterday, Kalil had to pay me $25.
Okay.
And the reason for that is to show him that you have to pay for the space.
Management fee.
Yeah, you have to pay. No, not even for your space.
Okay.
You use my gas, my electric. You use my space. So you got to pay me for this.
My supplies.
Yes, my supplies. So
My gas.
he made a certain amount. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna take it off. Just give me 25 out of what you make, because I had to go to the store. But eventually, Kalil has he has a job coming up now. Someone who came yesterday was invited by my mom.
Okay.
A friend of hers came, and they fell in love with him. So they booked him right away.
Okay.
So his next event will be his first real contract.
And I think a lot of parents with great intentions, because that was my mom, never charged me. Or it wasn't about charging, but didn't, okay, you need to take this to the side. Because you're not really going to spend the 25.
No.
But because you putting it back into him. But it's the idea of you can't have all this to yourself.
Yes.
Like, you got to pay. Like, stuff don't magically appear on your table for you to cook. But I think a lot of parents need to understand and really need to teach their children the cost, the refrigerator cost, and the keeping the stuff cool and transport and all that stuff. It comes with a price, because a lot of us became, entrepreneurs, and we're like, I gotta pay people. What is going on? I gotta pay for supplies.
Or they be like, well, with him and with my other boys, I told them about finances. As a kid, some of us wasn't taught about how you got to open up an account, put your money in. So with Kalil, I told him, I said, we're going to open up a bank account next week. You're going to put that money in.
Saving.
What are you doing with your money? Like, when he got his money, I don't take his money from him. This is your money. I want to see what his mindset and falls on how does he spend his money. So today, I said, what did you spend your money on? I only bought this and that. But he kept the bulk of his money. I just wanted to make sure he didn't blow it. And I said, what you going to do? So he knows to take certain amount of money, put up for certain stuff, budgeting. Like, he has cookbooks that he has got on his own. He has his own cooking supplies that he went out and I didn't know he had. He I got off Amazon. Yeah, so he does his own little shopping here and there, but when it comes to expensive stuff, that's where it's like, oh, Mom, I want,
But that's a good resource, but still the fact that you are following that up with, well, this how much you made, so you gotta, because as an entrepreneur, you don't normally get to keep your money right away. Like, some of them do, but then they don't last that long, because they looking to be fly and flashy. And I see you came in with your uniforms. Uniforms cost money. Then when you start getting your name on it, that's an extra couple dollars. But I think a lot of young people, we are missing out training them about the finances. They now have the creativity and the energy to jump out there, but a lot of people aren't giving them what you're doing right now and telling him, hey, this is what it is, and even balancing that book at the end of every week or every month or even every day, and realizing this how much you brought in here, this how much you got to spend for yourself, this how much you got to put back into it. Like, and I love even watching you promote him. I'm seeing what parents could be doing to help them, because a lot of us don't know. Our children are talented, but we don't really know ourselves, because we work in a 9 to 5. And we don't understand business. But your family is entrepreneurs in themselves, so that's where you're getting it from.
Yeah, but another thing with Kalil, like, a lot of coaches I'm seeing, like, oh, he need to play football, he need to do this. I never pushed him towards something he didn't want to do. Now, soccer is his second thing he loves.
Okay.
But a lot of people see Kalil's size, they automatically think, oh, he must play football. Kalil hates football.
Right.
He's not against football, but it's just not for Kalil. So I was like, what do you want to do? He's like, I really want to cook. So that's why I'm gonna put my time and passion to cooking. I want to play soccer. Okay, then we're gonna do soccer. I encourage them to follow what it is that they want to do. Like, don't go with the typical people think y'all supposed to do.
Right, because you're not living for other people.
Yeah,
you're living for
and
you.
like I told myself, if you want to be a ballerina dancer, guess what? We're gonna put our time into that. It's nothing limit, because a lot of people used to stereotype Kalil. I think we was like 6 or 7. We went somewhere and they was like, chef, like, that's a girl job. And I think I took offense. Like, who puts labels on what a kid can do?
Right.
What makes it a female's job to be a cook? Like, where do y'all get that
You
image
got a
that
lot
only
of 50,
females cook?
60-year-olds now finally discovering their passion, because for so long we couldn't do certain things. We couldn't
because
wear
they
certain
put
colors.
titles or genders on certain jobs.
And it's crazy to me, because I'm now being on the side of being a full-time teacher now, I'm seeing how parents limit their children by their own insecurities or their defaults.
Or what others going to think of their child being what they want to be.
But what if your child wants to be happy? Like, make them happy by any means necessary that's safe and that's going to keep them moving forward.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you enjoy outside of being a chef?
Playing outside with my friends and um,
YouTube dancing. Don't forget that one.
YouTube dancing.
That dance every time something on YouTube. What do y'all be doing? I don't know what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. I be lost because I be in there. He had music on singing. The singing part. He in his room, music up loud, singing. I'm like, Kalil, turn it down.
And that's another thing. Even from a young age, I knew I was gonna be an artist. But one of the things that a lot of the people that my mother put in my path told me, you gotta sometimes hang on those things that you want to do and not necessarily the things that you just need to do. Because then you become this great chef at 16 and you'll have nothing else to show. Like you sit in the house all day and you cooking. And that's when you do things that's unhealthy because now I haven't had a chance to really explore and really show the things. So the fact that you have other skill sets, explore them and make sure you're doing them as well as dedicating your time. And speaking of dedicating time, how much do you give to practicing new recipes and just practicing cooking?
I say like 2 hours.
And what days so I can just come over?
I really don't have a schedule because when I put it to my mom, when I feel like going downstairs and feel like cooking or something, or I just feel like doing something, so I just go downstairs and start cooking or
making up sauce.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you know you really could cook?
When I turned the age of 8.
Okay. So everybody was eating your food, and so what was your responses? Because I know you got brothers, and brothers aren't always the nicest when it comes to trying different things. But
no, they never really said my food was disgusting. They really said they actually liked it. I asked them, are they telling me the truth? Because I hate when people just try to tell me it's good when they really don't think they like it. So I asked them for their honest opinion. They said they actually liked it. And so when my mother started bringing people to my events, people said they liked my food as well.
So are you afraid? I'm afraid of cooking for other people. Like it's a fear of mine because I don't want nobody drop dead in front of me. Like that's a fear. But like, are you secure in people eating your food and that you're learning a safe way to serve food and such?
My first time cooking, I was really scared because I was nervous. Like, oh, do they like this or would they like it? Like,
or they just saying it because they my mom friends.
Yeah,
right.
I had those kind of security, so I was like, until the next event, my mama, she told me there's nothing to be very scared of because if most people they went to my event say my food is good, then you should just start just thinking to yourself, nothing's gonna be happening, nothing's gonna be bad happening, and your food's gonna taste good.
And I told him, but also be prepared for constructive criticism. And that's what I'm teaching him to learn now, that you're not gonna always get good reviews.
Right.
It might be something that you could have cooked a little longer or a little less. So don't be afraid of someone giving you constructive criticism when it comes to your food. And I think we had that one time when you made the steak on the grill, and the teacher, I forgot the teacher that came. I don't think she was used to, when you cook steak, it's not supposed to be cooked all the way. I think we used to our way of cooking
like
it.
Medium rare,
and he's used to, the restaurant way of cooking it. Like when you cut, you're going to see a little blood, a little redness. And I think that took her like, ooh. And I'm like, no, that's how he makes a steak. If you want a medium well, you have to tell him, or, because he cooks a steak a certain way. Once he put that temperature thing in and he reads it, he's like, oh, this steak ready.
So who taught you to cook?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother. What was your favorite meal to cook with your grandmother?
I would say I really didn't have a favorite meal, but I was like, every time I see my grandmother cooking, I would go in there and tell her, can I help?
So are you cooking Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter?
Yeah, he cooks. We cook Thanksgiving and he cook Easter.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you like cooking that much food? Which was your favorite holiday to cook for?
I say Thanksgiving.
Are you baking too, or you just cooking?
I really don't bake like that, but I bake.
Which one is harder for you?
Like out of baking and cooking? I say bacon.
Bacon. Why is that?
Because bacon is like, every time when you cook stuff, you have to always have to make sure you have the right ingredients in there. And with cooking, it's the same thing, but it's different because you have to put the seasonings, and you have to use gloves or anything that you use to mix up the food, and not mix food, but to mix up the seasonings. And so that's how I would say that bacon is harder.
You gotta have more patience. I'm one of them cooks that I gotta sit right there, or I'm gonna fall asleep, or I'm gonna go do something and it's burnt up. Do you get frustrated when stuff don't come out the way you want it, or are you learning how to just make it work?
I get frustrated when stuff is not right how I want it.
Are we gonna see you on one of those cooking shows soon?
She want me to go to a Chef Junior, but I'm scared.
He's terrified.
Because Gordon Ramsay on there.
Oh, well, you from Baltimore. We can handle
yes,
that.
but the funny part about it, like he follows the show. He actually has is it Chef Ramsay cooking book? Yeah, he has the cooking book. Shout out to Uncle AJ. Uncle AJ buys Uncle AJ buys all the little cooking stuff. AJ be like, hey, I seen this, I got it. So between Uncle AJ, myself, and my mom, that's where he gets the majority of his stuff from. Like him and Uncle AJ make what it was, a hot sauce. Yeah. So now he's gonna branch out to making his own hot sauce and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gonna have his own line of.
Yeah.
When's the book coming out? Working on the book.
You want a cooking book?
I never thought of a book right now. I really haven't really ever oh, I want to make a book. I never really put that in a training thought.
I would say right now, pick everything that you think you can do as a chef and just make a list. And then we just go plan for all those things that you can do, because anything is possible. And you're starting at an age where anything is possible. And you can touch anybody in the world. Social media, we didn't have Facebook.
No, we didn't.
We was on maybe Black Planet at one point. That was as much as we had, but you have now the world at your exposure. Are you a YouTube watcher, like the cooking shows? Who are you? What chefs are you looking at?
I'll be looking at Gordon Ramsay. I forgot the chef name, but he have his own already. Chef. I forgot his name, but he.
That's okay.
It's gonna come back to you when you least expect it.
So
But it's another chef that we watch. The black guy. He's funny. I'm talking about the black guy with the bald head. And he be like sizzling.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of his name.
He does a lot of like catering.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. I know
But then it was Gordon Ramsay, and then the guy chef Chef Guy. Yeah, Chef Guy.
And a lot of chefs that I've learned because I'm a big avid. I love watching food, anything, cooking anything. But a lot of them, they just studied under other chefs. Are you looking at any possible like local people right now you want to study with? Okay, cool.
I haven't really thought about that.
Okay. So anything, what about the cooking field is kind of keeping you locked? Because sometimes as children, we often had desires, but we was like, oh yeah, I'm going to put that to the side, and we never touch it again. What's keeping you coming back every time?
Make people, when people eat my food, I see them happy, and so it makes me feel like, oh, if people like my food, it's no point in me just trying to be in the house and just cooking for my family when I can just cook for other people.
Is there any recipes that you want to try? Something you haven't done yet?
Not really that I can put in my mind, but I'm trying to master. I think it's flan.
Flambe?
No, it's what's it called?
Oh, the filet mignon?
Yeah.
He want to master that to a T.
Okay. So that's charcuterie? That's the meat.
Yeah,
meat
the steak.
people?
That's the premium steak.
Who? I mean, sir, you got expensive things.
Yes.
Like you go right up there. So them prices. Start teaching him about pricing right now.
Yes, and that's why I said we work with budgets now, because Kalil budget can go from 200 to 600 in like 5 minutes. You're like, Kalil.
Well, we can do toppers. Let's talk about toppers.
Toppings.
You're not giving them a full meal, but maybe a little taste test, and then you get that money when they come back to you. Are you ready for the work? Because what grade you in right now?
6.
6th grade. Okay, so you just getting into middle school. So this is a different atmosphere for you. So by the time you get to high school, where do you think you'll be in terms of a chef?
I would be like, I'll probably have my own, not my own restaurant, but my own like little online page when people can like get other people to like deliver. I can like deliver food to them. And
are you ready to start doing, say, tutorials and online?
yeah, I'm ready to do that. But yeah, I'm ready to do that.
What scares you about this? Is there anything that scares you about jumping into being an entrepreneur at such a young age?
Not really. Nothing that really like jumps at me. Like, no.
Well, again, you come from a family of entrepreneurs,
But it's not about Kalil. since I can remember, when everybody said what they want to be when they grow up, Kalil has always had this, I'm going to do my own thing. So, because I'm not going to say like working for people. Kalil likes to have his own way. And with Kalil's attitude.
That's called leadership.
Yes.
Leadership.
So you can't tell Kalil, oh, go over there and do that. What? Nah, I'm going to make somebody else go do it. So I knew then, he going to have to own his own business because Kalil going to get fired. Kalil gonna keep getting fired the way how his attitude is, so he ain't had no choice but own up his own.
They gonna make you the manager
after
the second day.
Because he has zero tolerance, so it'd be like either you gonna jump on board, do this way, that way. So I've always, out of all the boys, seen the entrepreneur in Kalil out of everybody. You know, you can see something in your kids. I see that in Kalil. So sometimes Kalil think I'm being a little bit harder on him than the rest. It's just that I see something in Kalil that, not saying that others don't have, but it's just more of a drive that I see in him than I see in everybody else.
And you just see it. You see him actively pursuing it. So it's harder to kind of just let him coast along, but you got to stay on top of him. And I would just say, I wish my mother was harder on me with my desires, because I would play the piano for this school semester and be like, oh, Ma, I want to go over here and do this over here. But it's not, but just stick to something, even if it's just trying it for this amount of time. And I think we talked about this before, just letting them just explore all the possibilities and not letting him just, stick to one thing. Even now that you know what you want, still explore what other possibilities.
Yes.
Because if you go on one of them cooking shows, you're going to have to do everything. They're not going to just care that you like seafood and steak. They're going to want to see you baking and making stuff from scratch.
And that's where that comes in. We talked about that, about getting him someone who's already in the field, who already has that experience to teach him, other culture, foods, and other brands, so that way he can learn. Because last year we was looking for a culinary art school for the summertime, and we found one in Pikesville, but that was booked up and sold out. So pretty much we were just looking for somebody that could take money for their wing and teach him the way and how to go.
Because how old are you now? You're 12? Okay, yeah. So he's around the age where he can start doing maybe some interns and stuff like that. I'm really excited, and just thinking about you coming on the show, I was just interested in like where your mind was. I've met you a couple times, but just to see where children grow and just see where parents allow them to just be who they are, it's just amazing, because that wasn't how we were brought up. You had to do things this way, and whatever you want to do, you do that on your time. But this is what you're doing. But this now that children have that freedom to just explore and be expressive and just try stuff. And they have so many different things to teach them that we didn't necessarily have. So if we didn't have it in class or in church, we really didn't have it. It wasn't a vehicle. Are you glad you are in this space where you have more resources at your disposal?
Yeah, but I'm scared at the same time.
Why? What are you scared of?
Because I was thinking about it all day in school. I'm gonna be on a radio show. People gonna see me. Then plus, and people might see me in public. They might, cause you know how some people, when they see people in public, they're gonna try to come up to you and stuff.
So that's just setting boundaries. How you doing? My name is, and then cutting that off, because now they see that you're aware and you're not just opening yourself up to any crazy coming to you. But this is your world, sir. You got to get used to the fame.
And that's what I'm telling him. I said, it's okay. But his biggest fear was with the day with strangers and stuff like that. So that was one of the big things he talked about. He like, I don't mind cooking for people, but I just don't want just like anybody come to me and something might happen. And he's Baltimore City, so he's like, I don't want.
But you trained him already, so he knows what
he's aware and alert at the same time.
But it's the same thing. You just have to have an extra level of, like, I never bring children here without their parents. You have to look at, if it's an opportunity where they just asking you, then like, no, you got to talk to my mom first. And at this age, it's healthy for you to do that. And don't let anybody ever say, that's weird. You a baby. You're a mama's. Yes, I am a mama's boy. And when you start paying for those bills like mama's doing, then maybe I'll think about. But don't ever let anybody deter you or steer you in the wrong direction, because you're doing what you've been trained to do. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Your teacher said what?
Your link is broken.
The link not.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'm going to show these niggas what to do with one of your beats, man. should have been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system. When they was giving out food stamps, she missed them. Birth certificate, baby daddy, she couldn't list them. But her son was so beautiful when she kissed him. Blame it on love, but nigga she could've died with. Destroyed the whole world, I found out she was a side chick. The nigga loved his wife, and it got hard to hide it. So when Gwen confronted him, he ain't even denied it. Her fault, depends on who you asking. She tried to be a stripper, but the tip out was taxing. Buying all the purses, trying to keep up with the fashion. And her mama hated babysitting with a passion. She deserved better circumstances. A black queen, she should've been blessed with certain chances. Look down upon, getting all the hurting glances. Making men change up all the twerking stances. She never cried about the pain, only gritted her teeth. But most soldiers never get a flower or a wreath. She like G.I. Jane in the war with no relief. I don't recognize why killers was going through her beef. She said more prayers than the nun did. After seeing so much struggles with only one kid, the clinic said baby number 2 couldn't be undid. 9 months later, delivery and this one big. But this time it was an older dude. But the shit happened so fast, she barely know the dude. Damn, but we all make mistakes though. And the older we get, that's how mistakes go. So he claimed the baby, now with no money. He said shit was hard and his dollars was kind of funny. Real was feeling like that was strike 2. So when it rains and pours, that's just how life do. She was thinking about her childhood and how life flew. A daddy she always loved, but she never quite knew. This was before the bags and the cellulite grew. Other bitches in her shoe, no telling what they might do. You lose a lot of friends, they start to despite you. Passing judgment when they don't got the right to. And even though I love the gangsters, the same for the gangsters. I remember you no matter how big the fame gets. Paint a perfect picture, baby you can frame this. As long as I'm snapping, you will never be nameless. While I was robbing, you did things that was shameless. Both products of our environment, we was blameless. They deserve better, those women who raised men. Who went out of town with us in that day's end. The ones we leave on the streets when them days in. Got slammed right with us when the feds blaze in. Not only men is going through it on the wild turf, but the women too. Add that to the childbirth. Kids raising kids, not knowing what a child worth. How you walk in they shoes when every mile hurt. Turn down the nigga, now you can't get respect from him.
A minute and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange radio show.
Any trouble, because I get into any trouble, but I had a problem that this then became a discussion at that workplace environment. Now, the discussion was I should have been more sensitive. In what way was my first response? And I guess when I had to meet with that said person who had the issue with the person who was said leader of that organization, I said, well, to that person, how would I have known that? Well, you should have asked.
I think so. You want my opinion?
It was a circle, and I was willing to go on that merry-go-round.
You are better than most.
Yeah.
I think that's normal when you're in a group and there's norming. Most of the time when you're in new work environments or you're in a space where you're getting to know people, it's normal now to ask for people's preferred pronouns. You wouldn't have known that.
Normal to who? What is normal?
Well, you work in social. You work in social innovation and
my pronouns, so it's not normal to me.
You don't, but I think. Because I feel like the person was probably offended because they felt like you were not honoring whoever they are, right? But you wouldn't have known that.
Still to this moment, I don't know what their pronouns are. So in that
they didn't offer
circle, we still don't know. So I'll go as far as saying I perceived it to be a she.
Perceived them to be a she.
Them.
Yeah.
Her, him, they,
them. It seems like they, them would be the easiest one on this one.
Join us every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. for the Artist Exchange radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. These type of people sit right under our noses. We don't find out till we're on IG scrolling. We post a few memes, but then it keeps on happening. Something's gotta change, we gotta start talking and telling the truth without the fear of judgment. Gotta come together and really start loving and heal these people cause they slowly dying. Help them believe that their life is worth living. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. I pray there's an end to this suicide demon. We losing people too soon, they cutting and bleeding. They think no one cares, so I wrote this song to tell you, my God, he cares and he can heal you. He sees you when you're crying yourself to sleep, wondering if anybody hears me.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I am renewing my energy. I've been surrounding myself by young people the last couple months. And this young man right here, Chef Kalil, is joining us along with his mom, Miss Alisa.
Hey.
And we have been talking about this young man and his culinary career, his culinary arts career. Tell me a little bit about Kalil, the chef, the brand. I know you about to start changing up. You got a new logo coming, some new merch. Tell us about it.
So pretty much that I had my old sign and it had Kalil Bistro on it, but I felt like I can change it and go because my big brother he likes to draw, so I'm gonna have him to be able to draw my logo and able to draw me on there.
Got everything in house.
And so
yeah, shout out to Kyra. He's got our new artist.
And so I'm gonna have him to redo it. Then we're gonna go somewhere to get it printed. Then I have to get new colors for my from my uniform, and then I'm gonna have to get shirts made.
Okay. So are you ready to start hiring people, and or your brother's just going to be the crew for now on?
I'm ready to hire people.
Yeah,
So
I thought we could hire one to start off with, because you know.
Start for one.
To help him, we can start with one because you have
Well,
your
you got
brothers.
brothers
Yeah,
now.
I said you got your brothers.
Just
but
rotate them.
I know he wants to hire one, which probably be his best friend. They like Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay.
Kamari.
Is Kamari a chef as well? Okay.
No, but she's a protector.
Oh.
Nobody gets past Kamari. Nobody. Not even me sometimes. I had to remind
that's
her.
part of building your team, making sure that people, they believe in what you're doing. That's fun. And they're not just trying to get a couple dollars or just ride your coattail. That's really important. And your mom is really good at seeing that.
Yes.
So she's never going to let somebody come in and swoop in. So, and I think grandma over here too, they're not going to play them games. Are you ready for this business? or is it anything that you want to learn in terms of the business side?
Yes, I want to learn how to able to hire people like know like hire people, look at their background, see like just
So that's where mom comes in.
even though that you might be
What, the marketing manager side of it?
yeah, that's what I want to learn. And
Well, that's a part of your marketing right here, putting yourself out there, exposing yourself, networking with new people.
And not only that, I think I'm gonna say June. We're looking at June. Kalil and myself, we sitting down with like 2 other people, and my uncle who owns the Downtown Art Culture Center, which is our family business.
Right there on Howard Street.
Right there on Howard. Shout out to
Is
Uncle
that
Rennie.
Howard Mulberry?
401 Howard Mulberry. Shout out to Uncle Rennie. We're looking at putting a Kids Exposed show together, and it'd be sponsored by Kalil. Whereas those children who has talent, they can cook, they can make, they can do anything that they want to put themselves out in. We're going to set up a link where they can register. We're not going to charge them to be vendors. We're just going to, they have to register and give them a deadline to register their children. So if you got a child that can DJ, that can tap, that can dance, that can cook, that can make bracelets, anything, give them a table and invite people to come in. Charge $10 for people to come in and experience these kids, because Baltimore have this bad image that all kids doing is going around being squeezy kids or they don't have nothing to do with their time. So we want to give them something, and expose these kids and show them that it's kids in Baltimore City have so much talent. I think he has a friend who bakes. What's her name?
her name Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. She bakes. Awesome baker. But they don't get that exposed. And there's
that's,
a lot
that's
of kids.
part of it. Yeah, you gotta. Children are missing imaginations, which is crazy because everything is at their exposure, but also they're missing that confidence.
Yes.
And I think exposing young people like Kalil and his friends to a different way where people are actually coming in and giving them feedback and talking to them, and they have to communicate.
Yes.
That's the big thing with young people. They don't know how, they're creative, but they don't know how to communicate their wants and
And that
needs.
is one of Khalil's biggest things. Like, he does good with the cooking, but when it's time to talk to people, Kalil can sometimes be so condescending, like, Kalil. But he doesn't know how to talk to people because he's so used to the YouTube and the online stuff. I'm like, people do exist in real life, not just online.
Yeah, and
So,
that's part of the communication.
yeah,
part
I'm trying to get him out of there to realize that you have to only way to sell you, but you got to network. I said you want to be you got to sell yourself out there. So I'm breaking him out of this not going to say shyness, but he's like an introvert. Like he deal with you when he wants to, but then he pulls himself back, and I said that's fine. But when you out here, you want to get your business out there, you got to go out there and pass out your little flyers and let everybody know that Kalil's out there, and
I
give
like
them a
y'all
taste of your
doing
food.
the tasters mixers that you do because that allows him to not feel the buffer of having to sell, but he's actually able to show what he can do. And also, are you live cooking at these events? Or?
No, the next one he will be.
Okay. That may help him kind of, because once people see what you're doing, that gets them more interested in the story. And I really, as soon as I saw your last post that I commented on, I didn't know he had kept doing it.
Yes.
But it was amazing to see because that was been a couple years.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago when he first did it. Yeah, he's been in the background doing it. A lot of times people call him up and can you make me a platter or a dinner? And he'll make it. I think what was it? Aunt Nita had him make this ultimate crab. What was it? Curry salmon.
Yeah, it was curry salmon with asparagus and some mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So are you
spinach.
letting yourself just learn naturally by doing it, or are you looking at cooking shows and learning recipes?
As I do something, I got my own notebook in the house. I have to write it down so I can remember how to do it. Because that's the only way. Because my memory is not that good, so I have to write stuff down so I can remember how to do it.
Are you? Because Baltimore is now growing in the vegan community and the non-meat type of community. Are you learning that as well?
Yes.
Okay.
My Uncle Rennie has a vegan truck.
Okay.
And that's one of the things he's going to start working with him to learn how to do vegan. When I tell you Kalil was like, I want to learn every vegan, I want to learn vegetarian, I want to learn. And it's not like I'm pushing him. When Kalil takes his break, I allow him to take his breaks. But he comes to me like, I want to do this, I'm going to do that. So I just encourage him. But if it becomes too much, he let me know it's too much for you.
Right.
Then you take your step back. I let him work on his pace. But a lot of time when it comes to cooking, he just gradually just do it. I think it's just something that he does. And he has this thing where he smells like, he knows if it's right high from the smell in the air. He like, I'm missing something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Or we went somewhere, ate somebody's food right away. He knew what the person had in the food. She's like, how did you even know I put mayonnaise? I mean, was it mustard? Mustard in her macaroni and cheese. He's like, oh, you put mustard in it. She's like, what? How did you know? He's like, because I know my taste. Like, he knew what she put in her food. And she was so amazed, like, she's like, I know you say he cooked, but I didn't know that you meant to that gratitude. I said, listen, when I tell y'all that, some people might think parents can be like, oh, my child does. No, this boy really does. He critiques me sometimes.
But I'm not saying being a chef is easier, but it's not, you don't necessarily have to go out and get anything for him to learn this.
Yes.
He could just go downstairs in the kitchen and mess
and
around.
He does that a lot, which sometimes they get in trouble because I'll be like, I had this in the house. Where's it at? Oh, I cooked it.
Oh, that sounded like my father.
I mean, my
seasons.
seasons.
My steaks go?
My seasons. I be like, I know about this season. I'm like, this is not cheap. You know, I made some mix with it. Kalil. Oh, I made dip for the boys for that chicken. Yeah, I'm like, what is you doing? You got to tell me. So now I told him when he get his money, he going to start buying his own seasons. Because I got mine. You got to start buying your own. Not being hard, but my seasons be going. Like,
are you buying in bulk for him now, or you still?
Yeah, well, Kalil got his own little connection that he, what was it, McCormick's? Yeah, Kalil he come home with seasons. Aunt Nita and come home. I'm like, Kalil, he like, oh, I got my own. He come with the big ones. So sometimes I be like, let me get that. Yeah, cause I use his stuff, but because Kalil Gad. Now that's one thing he has the gift for Gad. He come back down the street like, oh, such the neighbor up the street got work for the season company, and I talked to them. They gonna give me some seasons. Oh, okay.
I just said if I had these technologies when I was even 17, 16, I would have been bad. Yeah. Because they got POS systems on their phone. They got the Square, the PayPal, the Cash App. I'd have been too bad. You understand me? Yeah. But I'm so happy that they are in this space because they have all of our failures to kind of learn from, and then all of these new technologies and resources to be able to reach out to. What advice would you give to another young person that may be kind of trying to find themselves in terms of being a chef? What advice would you give to them?
I would say be strong and don't try to let nobody tell you you can't do something. Because everybody, they have a talent that they have to learn how to do it. And not everybody, just because you in a, let me see.
Don't get me, it's your word.
How you can say that?
Just say it. You don't even got to find a word for it.
You can say that you can come from any family. You can still have a talent. It don't matter what, and you can just try your best, and you're gonna get from there.
So in terms of being an entrepreneur, I know you have a family of entrepreneurs. Are you learning for them how to kind of run a business?
Yes.
What questions are you asking?
I'm asking how would I learn? Like I will ask her. Oh, can you teach me how to do this? So when I actually have my own restaurant, because I keep telling them I'm having my own restaurant, I said, can you teach me how to do this? So when I have my own restaurant, I could be prepared instead of me looking clueless.
So you said you want your own restaurant. So do you want to cater or you?
No. He doesn't like what people say you want. He's always talking about half.
Oh, yeah.
He speaks it. He tells me all the time. So you want? He like no. So that's where it comes in. He's like, no, I don't want. I'm going to have my own restaurant.
And see, that type of confidence is not in our school systems across the board right now. Yeah. And that's something that, like, before you can even get to the content that you're teaching, you have to teach them how to communicate with each other, how to present themselves, and just that confidence. Because some of them are so shy and so introverted because nobody's talking to them at home. So I've always loved how you included your children and you talk to them. Because a lot of parents are not, and I know everybody busy, but this lady works like, works,
and I have 4 boys, a house full of 4 boys.
You
but
just
we have,
2 young
I
men?
have my 2, which is my Kyron and Kyrie. They're my 2 that I didn't birth, but they're my boys. And then I have Antoine and Kalil. And when I tell you it's an open house, they talk about everything. And sometimes I'm like, I'm still sitting right here. But the fact that they feel comfortable now, that they could come and we could talk about anything. So when Kyrie said, I want to be an artist, or he like, I'm going to school to be an artist. Kalil, I'm going to be a chef. You know, and Antoine wants to go into service. Kyrie wants to be a, he wants to be a physician. He wants to be a, make sure I get it right because he's changed it up last week, but he's really sticking to it. He wants to be a sports therapist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he wants to go to Boyd. He wants to go to HBCU.
Okay.
Because he's like, I can go to any college for free. I'm going to Boyd. I was like, okay. He said, I'm taking up sports therapy. I said, okay.
That's what's up.
So he wants to do that. But the fact that you want to go to Morgan? Okay. The fact that
I think they're starting a hospitality field.
yeah.
as well.
So the fact that all of them already have their own mindset and they all are in different fields and different genres, I encourage you that every last one of them. Whatever you want to do. Kyron, he's going to be sponsoring himself. Well, he's going to do his debut premiere at the Kids Exposed thing with his artwork.
Okay.
So he's working on pictures now where he's going to have them hanging out where people can buy his artwork, his collection. He does voices. What's his two favorite voices? I think it's Bill Clinton and Obama.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so he wants to do voices. He wants to do cartoon voices. He wants to be behind the scenes. But the fact that each and every last one of them have their own dreams, I push each and every one. This is what you want to do, then do it. You know, if you don't want to be, and Kyron is what, 6'2"? Yeah, he's tall. Everybody wants to play basketball. But he doesn't. He wants to be the artist.
That's one thing
them.
I hate about our culture, that we that's all we see in boys. Like, go play basketball, play football. And that's all we really see. And it may be a wrestler or something in there. But we got to think beyond, because athletes have a limited career. So let's say he is a part of that 1% that makes it all the way to the top. Then what? What happens if he breaks that ATL or that you know, what happens then? What is he going to fall back? He can't become a coach? That's a depressing career.
So, and the reason why I said that is because I encourage all of them, have a fallback plan. This is this is what your dream is, but also have a fallback plan, because reality is some things might not go. So what are your secondary choices? What do you want to do besides if you can't do this? What do you want to do after that?
And that's why I tell everybody, especially parents and children alike, explore the different parts of it. Because as an artist, I'm able to teach during the day, and I'm able to actually perform, you know, in the evenings and on the weekends. So you can do everything you want, but what pays you? You know, I'm teaching theater, so I'm able to pay for me sitting in a show or doing a show at arena where it's free. I'm able to do that. But also at the arena, I'm able to set up a table and sell my work. So you got to look at different ways to be able to make it. And I don't believe necessarily in a fallback plan, but what's going to always keep you moving. And that's what that fallback plan is. It's
and that's what I tell them. Like,
the
you
benefactor.
What are your goals? Like now, we set, when 2020 came in, asked my boys, so what y'all doing this year? What's your goals for this year? Because every year their goals change because they get older, they experience more. So what is your goal for this year? Kalil said he wants to explore more into different cultural foods besides the food that he learned.
But he's staying strong in that culinary arts. That's a good.
Kyron said he wants to really learn how to draw 3D. So everybody's staying within their field, but they want to experience more into it.
Go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, my son Antoine, he's been talking about joining the service since he was 4. So he just signed up for JRTC and got his uniform. And he's like, 17, I need you to sign on papers because I'm enlisting early. And he's been saying that, and part of me was like, no, but that's like, I can't stop him from his dream. This is his passion. And the fact that he's been serious about it since forever, I'm like, okay, next year he'll be at 17 mark, and he's so serious. I mean, he's so serious, he don't got the recruiter to come to the house already. I'm coming home recruiter day. I'm like, what's going on? He like, yeah, I want you to talk to this man because I'm going in the service. So the fact that his mind is so set to it, okay, this is what you want, and I always sit all of them down. Is this what you really want to do? Then I'm gonna support you in it. But at any given time, it becomes too much, or you feel like I'm pushing you too much, because when you tell me this is what you want to do, I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you 1,000%. I'm gonna be pushing you. On days you gonna be like, I'm getting on your nerves, because I want you to follow your dream. But if it becomes too much for you, let me know, because then that's when, as a mother, I have to take that step back and let you be the child that you are.
Because even a dream gets hard. Like this is, I love doing this. I love marketing and helping people, but it becomes a chore at times, you know, or life gets in the way of doing things. But you still got to get up and do it. I've come down here when it's snowing outside, when it's raining, leg was in the cast, like straight out of the like you have to, if you want it, you have to make sure that you're willing to sacrifice the things. And I've missed family events, funerals, my birthday, I've been working. So sometimes you got to figure out if this is really what you want. And you know when it's what you want, because then he won't need to play the video game as much or need to do those things. It's good that you make time for it, but no, sometimes you're going to have to I'm gonna have to sit this video game to the side. I'm gonna have to miss this friend's birthday party because I got a gig. I gotta cook these people this food, or I gotta cook for that friend.
And like I tell them, like I don't force. Like a lot of people, like, do you make them do it because that's what you want them to do? No, I don't force it on them at all. Like no.
You make them accountable.
Yeah, I make them accountable for anything you do because we have this saying and that we say all the time. I say everything you do in life has what? Kalil, everything you do in life has what?
Consequences.
Whether they good or what?
Bad.
And it's up to you to make what?
My decisions.
Okay, and that's what we say in the house. That's our thing. All of us, like I say to each one of them, everything you do in life has consequences. But it's up to you whether you're gonna make a good one or bad one. But just know that whatever choice you make, you got to deal with that reaction to it. Like, and I installed that in them. That's something they have to live through with life.
Right.
Remember that when you go through life, that everything you do have a consequence.
And everything has like a 5 to 10 year cycle.
Yes.
So at 12, the decisions that you're making right now, at 18 and at 22, you'll be living in the choices that you made today.
Mr. Busy Man, he got his iPhone, he texting and talking to everybody while he's yes.
But you gotta make sure you understand. You may not see the reaction to your choices tomorrow, but in 10 years, 5 years, you be like, man, it's hard. I gotta do this. I gotta get my credit because you didn't make the good decisions right now. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here with Chef Kalil when we return. So don't go anywhere. The Artist Exchange Radio Show only on BeExposedRadio.com. Yeah. I just was.
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste of been bad, burned and fucked over. But remain strong through the Passover. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me to let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pen I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I peep the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save you, the weed too loud on the pedal stool. Don't carry favors, always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patients run that, yeah, nigga OT. Cause they wanna see me bound like I'm an NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me. Say I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep it G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't losing sleep while your third eye always on me. I'm stacking green just to feed the team. My boo, she know that I'm king when chasing my dream. These niggas it seems I rip them, trash them, then put on new jeans. Man, see the problem is, man, you know, I keep it 100, man. Yeah, man, like if I got it, then you got it. Yeah, I mean, but if I got it, then I'ma give it. You feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo.
I'm really getting tired of ungrateful ass niggas. They really about to turn me to a hateful ass nigga. Like I was never there when you never had figures. Pull triggers for you niggas when you caught up in the trenches. Man, I really don't get it. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't feel it. Niggas really know that I've been there from the beginning. But the more I see niggas side switching, make me wanna bring it closer to the end. And that's why I can't fuck around with these niggas. I'll fuck around with my hoes. Cause niggas acting like bitches and hoes acting like bros. Man, I swear I really don't get it. How people switch up they roles. First it was nothing but love, but nowadays I don't know. It seems like anything goes. Where can I go? Cause lately fucking with you, I just stand at a fork in the road. It's hurting my soul. When I'm around you, I shouldn't feel like I should stay on my toes. So where do we go from here? Get dough from here? Or are we gonna end it on the road right here? Cause either way, whether it's left or the right on my property, niggas gon' blow around here. Fuck cities up while we do shows around here. Keep our music up while we blow Joe around here. Don't be looking salty if you're not going nowhere. Should've kept it with the movements that I'm moving over there. Cause I'm getting to the point where I just don't care. Know you're thinking to yourself that it's just not fair. But you made your choice and I won't be taught. Just know ain't no fucking coming back round here. And we shining and grinding. You mad that you ain't at the top and you see what we climbing. Our music is timeless. I thought you would witness the vision, but it's obvious that you blinded. I thought we was brothers. I thought we was fam. But it's plain to see that you don't give a damn. Everything cool when we out selling grams, but now what's the problem? A mic in my hand, man. Dang.
I feel you, my nigga. See, niggas be saying just one way of life when there's billions of possibilities that happen on a day-to-day basis. Don't judge us cause you ain't where you supposed to be at in life. Instead of envy or try and bring niggas to your level, strive for better from yourself, not the people around you, man. Pay attention, wake up.
I'll be up in the way. 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 Rolling on my face. Gucci guilty on my face. I'll be up in the way. 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 I'll be up in the way.
Bedroom phone ring, girl in t-shirt answers me. I get off on the way that she answers me. First time saw her, I knew she was the one for me. Ever since then, we been vibing on some chemistry. It's just a matter of time. I know she feeling my vibe. I got the keys to her ride. She put her hands on my thigh. She got that look in her eye. SL what I'm riding. Royalty, call me highness. All day and overnighted. Cause it's crunch time when I'm grinding. This Adderall got me nauseous. Proceed with caution. Tired of lane, I'm exhausted. Poppin' Zanny Zan, sipping out the faucet. I'm confused, don't know what I'm doing. Wait, what I'm doing? Got me going where the I'm going. Out of space where I'm going. Wait, where I'm going? Wait, where I'm going? Out of space where I'm going. Out of space where I'm going.
I'll be up in the way. 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 Rolling on my face. Gucci guilty on my face. I'll be up in the way. 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 I'll be up in the way.
Can I talk to you? I've been working hard. I've been up all night. I just been so high. I feel nothing off the sands. Withdrawals killing me. I need something to sleep. Need you on top of me. I need to get high. Dreams designer all night. Chanel should be hot in my dreams. Wearing my clear on my sleeve. I'm not who you need me to be. Indigo sound for the team. Royalty sound for the team. Hippie vibing for the team. I need space, girl. I need to get out, yeah. Slow my motions, leaning. I've been out, yeah. Never worry.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. I wanted to talk a little bit about the responsibilities of parents when you have a young entrepreneur or aspiring artist or entrepreneur. And I wanted to ask Lisa some questions in terms of how is she preparing yourself, or how are you preparing yourself in terms of financing this and just giving him the tools. Like, what are you having to go out there and learn how to do so you know you're giving him the right information?
Well, what they say, I have 24 jobs. That's what they tell me. Well, I retired last year, February 26th,
Oh, really?
for corrections. Yeah, I did it early out, but I knew that I had to support them.
How long have you been doing it?
I went in when I was 18, and I retired at 34. I did it early out due to my health.
Okay.
So I left. But then I took a second job because I knew financial-wise, you know, that covers my monthly check, covers my bills, but the support them what they wanted to do.
Right.
I took a night job at the University of Maryland Hospital. So I do the security part of that side. And
Okay.
I use that to support their dreams, all four of them.
And that and I see a lot of, and this is not, you know, as a person who's around parents, I don't bash parents, but I see a lot of bad choices because I see a lot of parents who did not have it or now trying to get it, and now it's almost like a competition with your child. But sometimes, at some point, somebody has to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And if you sacrifice now, your child will be there for you when you really need it.
So that's the reason why I took the 11/7 shift, because I'm like, if I work at night, during the day, I can help them, support them. Because when I was in corrections, I missed out on his plays. I missed out on his cooking events. I missed out on Antoine and all that stuff, their trips. The small things that people don't think count and matter. So when he came to me, he said, "Ma, since I've been in school, I don't think you ever been to any of my PTO meetings or my field trips." And I was like, "Yes, I have." And then I thought about it. I have never, when I was in corrections, been to anything. So besides my health, my children was like, you know what? It's time for me to get out where I can and then put my time into them. Because it's time for me to push them into what it is they want to do.
And
so I took that night job So during the day, if it's a trip, or it's a gig, or it's something they need to do, then they got me because I'm working night, but during the day, I'm up because I'm supporting them and what it is that they want to do. So my sacrifice was leaving corrections and taking a night job to support them in their dreams.
And you're still going after, because there are things that you're doing for yourself and to fulfill the things that you
check out this flashback.
But it's all of it's possible. Nobody is Superman or Superwoman, but it's possible to live your life. But it just requires sacrifice. Maybe I can't take that big vacation, or we can take a little weekend vacation. Like, still treat yourself, but there's sacrifice that's involved.
And I balance that out because once a month I take a me weekend where I just focus on myself for that weekend, and and it's okay to do that. And I used to be so hard on myself because I would spend all my time and money on them that I never did for me. And when I do for me, I be like, oh man, I bought me this shirt. I gotta get them a shirt too. And I used to feel guilty. And then it's like, hold up, they got more stuff than you got. You still wearing the same 5 shirts and they got 20 shirts. Like, it's okay to buy yourself something and not feel bad about it.
Because if you're not good, they're never going to be good. Because they're going to feel that and get that energy from you. And it's going to feel like, oh, she doing this because she got to do it. Versus it's something that she really wants to do.
And I always tell them, me personally, I do not live through my children. I'm not that parent. I cannot live through my kids. And I don't force.
Competing with them.
And I don't force where my dreams or where I didn't pursue my dreams. I don't force that negativity on them. Because if he decides tomorrow, oh, you know what, I don't want to do this no more, I'm not like, why did you give? No, that's his passion, and that's his path that he has to live through. I don't never compete, like you said, compete with them.
How are you teaching him? Because you support a lot of us out there in the world in terms of entrepreneurs. How are you teaching him how to give back in that same way? Not just want to take all the resources, but give it back.
So I have a house full of givers. Sometimes they give too much and they put me in situations that I'll be like, okay, you didn't tell me about this one. So I think once a week they come with a new friend that has something that's going on with them, and it's like, Ma, we gotta help them. But we have this thing that we do with every Christmas where we feed the homeless on Christmas. This year we fed the homeless on Christmas. But we also pick a family every Christmas. We pick a family in their school. They've like, mine's this kid in our school. They might don't have, but I don't think people know. And we pick a family, and they give up something, or they might buy them something, and we make a big basket and we give it to that family. Like, we definitely pay it forward, but they real humble with it. Like, they not the type of kids, if they do, you won't know that they doing for somebody, because I teach them how to be humble. Like, don't do something because you want recognition for it. Do it because this is something that you truly do.
When nobody's watching.
And when no one's watching. Everything you do don't have to be on social media, don't have to be on Facebook, because it's a lot of stuff that I do for a lot of people. You would never know, because I don't post it and I don't brag about it, because I do it because that's something that I was told to do. Shout out to my mother. Like, I used to be mad at her growing up, like, Mom, we got all these extra kids in this house. It's like, why? Like, that house was the house where Melba fed everybody. If you need your hair done and you needed food, Melba fed you.
So let's go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with Chef Kalil and his mom, Miss Alisa. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yeah,
It is what it is. Radio show.
Party he was chilling. He was doing his thing. Y'all, you feel me? Love y'all family. You know what I'm saying? And like, for him to be taken away from you, snatched away from you, just like that. You feel me? It's like damn. Another good one gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you taking the good? You know what I'm saying?
You always end up asking like, why?
And like, again, it's a lesson that it's a test of faith. You feel me? He's gonna take you through these tests. You feel me? You're gonna go through these little phases in life, yo. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just gotta recognize that one, it's the adversary trying to knock you off your pivot, and then it's God trying to teach you something. You feel me? Right. Anything that you go through, you gonna get through. It's called going through. You feel me? That's why it's called going through. You going through something. Right. You feel me? Because after you go through it, you get through it. You look back on it like, damn, I got that. You feel what I'm saying?
For this and more, be sure to tune into BeExposedRadio.com every Friday from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. to listen to more of It Is What It Is radio show.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. What you up against, go hard, don't let it. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, it's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen this less than all.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back. We're kind of ending the show soon, but before we do, I have a couple more questions for Chef Kalil, and I'm gonna cut that segment out because I think parents and guardians and people who are surrounding the children at Village have to learn certain things so we can give those children certain lessons, and then we have to start living that way so they see us doing it. Yes. And it's not just we telling them and they seeing something totally different. Yes. I'm learning that with children. Children listen to how you say things and whether or not you're doing what you're saying.
Yeah, you can't tell them to do something and then you do something different. Because
right.
what I learned with my boys, they don't listen to what I tell them. They watch what I do.
Right. Yeah.
So if I move a certain way, they be like, well, I know you just told us, but you doing this. So I hold myself accountability. Of anything that I do or I present it to them or show them, I hold myself accountable for their reaction to what I do. Because you can tell them 1,000 times, don't do this, but if you're doing it, they're not listening to what you're saying, they watching what you do. So I show them to grind. So that's why I grind hard. That's why I pay it forward. That's why I help others. That's why I give. I show them. Right. So now they naturally give. They naturally show. They naturally do. I show them what it is, what it takes to be a human being, because like I tell them all the time, I can't teach you how to be men at all, but I can tell you what the idea of what I think a man should be. But I can show you what it is to be a person, to grind, to be human, to be kind to anybody, all race, all sex, all genders. Don't never judge. I tell them all the time, don't judge nobody's path, because you don't never know what they went through to get to that path. If somebody come to you and they homeless and they want a meal, feed that person. Yeah. Don't judge that person.
Because that could be easily you in that space.
So I teach them all the time. We have this no judge zone in our house. That's why I think they all go in and be crazy in the house because they do whatever they want to do. But we have a no judge zone. Like we don't judge. You come as you are. We take any and everybody.
So Kalil has a couple shout outs he want to give.
I want to shout out to my teacher, Miss Ambrose, and Miss Brunson, and Miss George.
At what school?
At Martin Luther King Elementary Middle School.
Okay. So why are they so inspirational to you?
Oh, please, no.
Oh, I love her artist child. I love her.
My teacher, Miss Brunson.
So why are they so inspirational to you?
Because Miss Brunson, she don't go there no more, but she still, in the summertime, she used to have many jobs for us. Like, we would do community service so she can help us. She used to tutor my brother Antoine.
Yes.
And
she's a big inspiration on Antoine learning how to read. Miss Brunson, shout out to Brunson. And we sorry you didn't come. We forgot to invite you because she fussed at us on page for the weekend event.
And Miss George, she's my science teacher. She helps me a lot. But if I need the extra time to stay back, she will help me. And Miss Ambrose, she's my reading teacher. So since I'm struggling in reading right now, she let me stay back and finish doing the extra work I need to do so I can make my grade go up.
The trick to learning how to read better is to read out loud. If you hear yourself making a mistake, you'll correct it faster than if you read, because you skip over stuff when you read it to yourself.
What's the one that sell the candy? That's Miss Ambrose?
No, that's Miss LeBar, our vice principal.
Yes, Miss LeBar. Everybody loves Miss LeBar. You forgot about her?
But in terms of your village right now, in terms of family, and we're in Women's History Month. So who are some of those women that you look up to? You name some of the people in your school, but in terms of family and just people in general.
My mother. My aunt, Miss Keisha, my other mother, Miss Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Who else I look up to? I don't got no.
You don't look up to grandma?
What's
Oh, about to say,
it's the beginning of March.
But
my grandmother, my
Miss Keisha, your grandmother, myself, Ty, Aunt June. Who else?
Aunt Anya.
Q.
Yeah, and
I guess the village, because we got a little village. It's a village of us, and and I know it's Women History, but our Uncle AJ is like his biggest supporter. Well, he's my co-worker, but he came my brother.
Right.
And when I tell you, he's like Kalil assistant. Like yesterday, the cooking show, he picked me out the kitchen. I was like, "What you need me to help with, chef?" He's like, "Nothing, get out." AJ, come in. So he
it's
is
great
like,
to have those
yeah,
types of
like my brother AJ and Nunu. Like they be like Kalil, they both cook too, and they be like, "Hey boy, cook this, cook that." And my dad and Uncle Rennie. I think they that's our village.
Okay.
My dad is more the structure one. My Uncle Rennie is more the business type, and that's where he gets his business ideas from. And from a young age, my uncle took me in his business, and now he take the kids in.
Please show your children what it is to struggle and not just do bad, but to be going forward with a struggle because it's not easy. And the lights don't magically come on.
I know.
It's not magically food in the refrigerator.
And I told him, I said, y'all are blessed because y'all don't know what it's like to struggle. But I'm going to make you work for what you want. Like, I can easily just buy everything you want, but I make them earn it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to feel like you're entitled to anything. You have to earn.
That's
now, we come from a family where, though, we have family members that will give him a restaurant or give him that. But no, I want him to earn it. I want him to be able to say, I accomplished this for my struggling, for my hard work.
Right.
Because we come from a family that I'm blessed to say that have businesses, that own stuff. But I don't want him to just think that it's going to be easily given to him. I want him to know that he has to work hard. Just as much time they put in to create this business for you, you have to put that same energy in it too. You can't just say, oh, I want to go work here and you just get it. No, I want you to hire him like I tell my uncle. Treat him as if he wasn't your nephew. Make him do the same process.
Clean the bathroom.
Start from the bottom. Sweep them floors. Do all that.
When you have your own establishment, you know what it's like to ask somebody to wash a bathroom.
Yes.
It's people who have been in this position that don't know what it is to clean a restroom or wash a dish. And they yelling at people, but that's a thankless profession.
Yes.
So now you'll know, ask those questions in terms of hiring people and money and all those questions that may seem a little personal, but because you have that in, ask some questions now. So you'll have the information. You may still make the mistake, but now you know how to get back from the mistake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry, Uncle Darnell. We forgot Uncle Darnell. We never hear the end of that. Yeah.
I'm gonna get some film.
Huh?
I'm gonna get some film.
Yeah.
I name everybody else about me.
Yeah.
So in terms of being a chef,
Uncle Wayne.
Are there any questions that you have now as a chef that you may want answered?
How's it like being a chef in a kitchen, like in a real kitchen, like serving people, not like in a restaurant? Like how
like
is
the
it?
speed and
Yes.
getting the food out. Are you practicing some of that stuff now, or?
No, because I don't know how. I really don't know how to really start off at.
Okay. So fast food is a good learner for that. I wouldn't suggest having a fast food job, but it gets you on your feet, gets you ready for it.
Okay.
Any advice that I can give to you is just try everything. You know, what sticks will stick, and have a method in your madness. So don't be over here doing this stuff over here if it will never get you to where you really want to be. In closing now, I normally ask the question, what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self, but you're not 17 yet. So the question would be, what question would you ask to your 100-year-old self?
How far did I come since the first time I was on a radio show or on any television? How far did I come?
And give us your overall goal as a artist, entrepreneur, chef.
To give back to kids that's less fortunate than me, and to try my best, and even if I can't do something, I have other family that's supportive that can help me do other stuff and conquer my dreams.
And write that down somewhere. So go back to this show and remember that and write that down somewhere. So every time this gets hard or your mom seems like she getting on your nerves or them customers getting on your nerves, go back and read that. Because that becomes
what is your
why.
ultimate goal? What do you want to own?
A restaurant.
A restaurant?
One or two? Or multiple ones?
Multiple.
Yeah.
Where would you like them to be?
One in Hollywood, one in Baltimore, because that's the place I came from. That's my first restaurant will be in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
He said Baltimore.
Yeah,
you
know. You know.
So in Hollywood and Baltimore?
One in Florida, because that's where I'm going to move at. And
what we say, France or was it Italy?
I say France.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about like going overseas
I say
and learning?
I say each in one state because I'm going to have to learn in each state. I'm going to cross the world to China.
Okay.
Yeah, so he wants to have a chain,
So
international
I know
type
what I'm
thing.
put on my menu.
Yeah, but we are now this month coming in. He will officially have his Instagram page up, his Facebook page up, and then it will have his logo and his contact information. Right now, everything's going through me.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to reach out to him, I would give you my link and stuff. Everything's going through me. So you can give us how do we book? So if you want to book Kalil, you can go on my page. It's Alisa Curry, ALISACURRY. You can inbox me or you can reach me on my phone number, 443-278-4311. If I don't answer because I don't recognize the number, please leave a message and I definitely will call you back. Or you can email me at Antoine, ANTWOIN, Kalil, KALIL @gmail.com, and we can go from there. Who?
My mom. If you don't answer when you my mom.
No, Mama can help you with your page. He's a mama's boy. But
That's
yeah.
up for hashtag mom's son.
Yes, he's a mama's boy. Mama can help you with your page. But as of now, that's what we have going on. But before this month is out, he will have his Instagram. It's going to be called Chef Kalil's. And you can see his pictures of his food, his past events, his dinners that he just cooked, that he was cooking. And you can reach out to us through that way.
And before we go, so he has an event coming up though, right?
Yes, he has an event coming up in March. Yeah, it's March. Okay. That's a private event that he's doing. But in April, he has another cooking show that he wants to give up. It's like a pop-up show. And we're looking for an event to do it. More than likely, we'll be at my uncle's spot, and then we'll go from there.
For the expo?
Yeah.
For people who want to come.
No, this is in April. This is another cooking event that he's just doing. Whereas we're not charging, we just have to tip the chef. But I said, guess that was the last time at the house because there's too many people. So we're going to move it probably to my uncle's spot.
That's where it was started at.
Yeah, but we're going to have to move it because I'm like, all right, it's a lot of people. So it's like, we're going to have to move this event. So more than likely we'll be down at the Downtown Art Culture Center, which is our family-owned business. That will be his next event. Will be at in April. And those who follow me or follow Nate, I'll make sure you get the link, and you can definitely come support. Again, he does not charge, but it's not free in my pocket. So I do ask everybody to tip the chef because it does cost money to prepare for these events that he does do. That right now that I'm financially supporting, but eventually once he gets his gigs, he's going to be financially supporting his own gigs.
There we go. That's the goal. That's the march. So I'm gonna ask you, Miss Alisa, what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self? And what question would you ask to your 100-year-old self?
The advice that I give my 17-year-old self is be you. Be you. Stay true to yourself. I have this quote that I write on everything. It's called Live, Love, Life. And that's what I would tell myself. Live, love, life, and be true to yourself. Because if I would have known what I know now at 17, I would have been true to who I truly was. And not trying to be what everybody else thought I should be.
Mold yourself into
be to
somebody
who you
else's.
are. Be yourself. My 100-year-old self will say, what question? How did you do it? How did
Blood,
you do
sweat,
it?
and
Yes,
tears.
how did you do it?
Thank you for finally coming on. This is her first time on the show.
But I always been behind the scenes, but I just ain't been on.
She's been adjacent. She's been on the other side of the window.
Yes.
But thank you for blessing us and coming on. Thank you, Kalil, sir, for coming on, sir. I appreciate you coming on. I look forward to your food. I like to eat.
Next time we'll have some food.
See, we
well,
all
now you know
we
we like family, so we could do a private thing with just be us, so we need to catch up on time.
I don't need the camera.
I'm
the person. I don't need the camera.
You can be one of his testers because he do a lot of cooking, and he's like, I want you to test this food.
But I'm going vegan starting this month. So
Oh,
this was my first day fully vegan. So I'm ready, and we gotta get.
We're gonna have to master this vegan thing then.
Yes, please, because these hips are killing me. So this has been the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Don't forget, we're on Mondays for the month of March again. So Mondays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Up next, Wednesday, Living a Rich Life Talk Show, and that's 5 to 7 also. Thank you. Tune out. Peace out. Bless y'all.
See you later.
Thank you, sir.